Hello, everybody. Let's see who all gets in here. I'm going to talk to you guys about some stuff. I'll explain where this came from, and yeah, I'm not going to be on camera, so um, just going to let you look at the mirror. Hang on 1 second. I'm trying to get my computer up. I'll explain why I'm not going actually with my face on camera today, but not that, yeah, I look terrible, but I've been dealing with some stuff and taking care of my daughter, so um, that has been where I've been the past few days. I've been heavily attacked. And as an Aries sun and a Capricorn moon, with a Libra rising with Pluto there, you kind of get tired of being attacked all the time. And one of the things last night, and I got a channeling, this is for whoever wants to learn about this, because I was always one to shy away from Pluto. And even learn more about that planet. But as I'm sitting last night and going through some of the undercurrents, some of the planets that I usually obviously would channel because they are my ruling planet, it is my ruling planet, obviously, is Mars, with being an Aries sun. I'm very comfortable with Martian energy. And if you know anything about Mars, though, Mars also is the ruler of Scorpio, right along with Pluto. So those two are very interconnected. And as an Aries sun, just I'm talking about myself here, I would always rather just deal with working with Mars, because Mars is more of a neutral planet, like the karma isn't there. Like it is, I mean, okay, the karma's there, but it's more of a instant. You're going to see if you're doing something wrong with being a warrior. Mars, it's going to be almost instant. With Pluto being an outer planet, you might not see this karma come back on you for another lifetime or two. And like I said, I'm channeling all this stuff. So if you want to learn about it, that's cool. Like I said, I was always one to really shy away from even tapping in to Pluto because of the malevolent nature, and just it's scary that big black ball of a planet is going deep into your soul, and it leaves imprints. When you work with this planet, it will leave imprints and cause you to go deep. Now I'm going to get into the channeling of what I got when last night I decided during this full moon, um, I'm very tired of the bullshit going on around the world. You know, just with obviously with this pandemic and stuff, just because I'm always one that would want to work with more benevolent forces. I didn't want that bad karma. I didn't even want to tap into it, even though I realized with having Uranus, my Uranus is at 1 degree in Scorpio. And I'm very tied to Pluto anyway because of having that Mars energy, because Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio too, right along with Pluto. So there's a tie there. And I'm a fighter by nature. One of the things that had happened, I decided, I'm like, you want to know what? I'm going to channel Pluto. I'm going to work with Pluto. I'm going to go there for the first time in my life. Like I always wanted to stay, even though I'm going to go there because I'm sick and tired of seeing what's going on in the world. I have a Grand Cardinal Cross in my chart. I have Pluto in Libra, which I'm going to even go into that. And my rising sign is Libra, so it's about fairness and justice and balance, you know, in my life, in the life of the people who I want to surround myself with. I want to see fairness for everybody, really, even around the world. Doesn't matter what you look like, what you worship, what you do for a living, what your socioeconomic class is, what race you are. Those are the things, like, there, some things are just very paradoxical when you're working with Pluto. And like, since I've tapped into that energy last night, I've been getting a lot of paradoxes with this fella. And it's really digging deep. And one of the first things when I was like, all right, Pluto, chew and me, bud. And it was almost like when I called on that planet, it was like, who goes, it was almost like a who goes there? Like, how dare you even come into wanting to work? Who are you? And and I'm like, you know who I am. You know who I am. I know who I am. And that was one of the first things that you have to understand when it comes to working with Pluto. You got to know who you are. You have to have already done some of that shadow work, that you're confident in who you are as a person, and confident, and have already went into some of the trenches and the deep dark places and embraced your shadow side, that you're not, how can I put this? Pluto, help me here. Like I said, it's a paradox. And I'm real good with duality, folks. Real good with duality. Because, like I said, I have Pluto in Libra. And whether people want to say, oh, well, there's only two dual signs in the zodiac, no. Libra is also a dual sign. You got to take the dark with the light and the light with the dark. It's the yin yang symbol. That's why most Scorpios, are divine. They understand this duality probably better than the rest of the zodiac. No offense to, the Gemini dual sign, or, Pisces, but Scorpio gets the dark side to where Pisces normally wouldn't even want to tap into it. Gemini would just run into it. And I'm a Gemini South Node, by the way. So, like, I understand duality real well. I've already conquered that South Node. I'm moving into my North Node now, which is Sagittarius. So I got to go through this scorpionic energy to even get there. In which I have a stellium in my sun sign, which is Chiron, which is going into that deep hurt and that the family karma, and healing that, allowing that to be triggered. And I have Jupiter there, so, and it's opposite Pluto in my rising sign with Libra. So instead of fighting against Pluto all the time, I need to embrace that so that I can fulfill what I need to do. But like I said, one of the things that I heard as soon as I tapped into Pluto, I'm like, all right, chewing me. It's like, how dare you? Who summons me? But then the paradoxical thing was, a lot of people don't want to even work with Pluto, because Pluto is a scary abyss of a planet to work with. So there's a paradox there with this planet. And as soon as you know who you are, and you can wield your sort of truth of who you are, and Pluto's like, all right, someone who actually has the balls to summons me, that knows who they are. I guarantee if you tap into Pluto as well, you're probably going to get a similar reaction from that planet because it's not used to humanity wanting to work with it. And there very well could be some people that are actually a light force. There's probably some dark forces that do work with Pluto because it is a very malevolent planet and it does not mind bringing that egg on your face right back at you. So if you're a light worker and you want to work with Pluto, make sure that your motives are completely and your intent is very pure. That was one of the things that I really got when it came to working and channeling this last night. I've always, like I said, I've always been very gun shy to stay away. Even Saturn is a little bit for me, and that's my moon sign. One of the other things that I got is my chart's pretty complex. We'll just throw it out there. My natal chart is pretty complex. I have a lot of squares and oppositions in my natal chart, and I'm not sure. I never had a progress chart reading. At one point, I probably will, but I'm pretty sure I'm a progress Taurus at this point. So, which is opposite Uranus in Scorpio at 1 degree, and that's opposite my Venus in Taurus, which is the ruling planet. So there's like a trigger and a pull right now, even with Venus and Uranus for me. Transforming relationships, transforming yourself to transform relationships. I wasn't even going to come on and do this, but I felt very inclined that I needed to just get this out. And I usually, I've been very busy all week. Might not seem like it because I didn't post any videos and I was supposed to do more videos as far as like putting out readings and stuff for the collective. And my daughter ended up coming down. She's pretty sick. So had to, I've been taking care of her. Just put it that way. No, it's not the Rona. We don't have to worry about that. But it's kind of an ongoing thing that she has with her digestive stuff. So I've been working with her, and so I apologize again for my tardiness. Like my intentions are good. I have Sagittarius' reading laid out, but she's right now upstairs sleeping in my bed. So kind of letting her just soak in the good vibes that are in my room because I keep it very light in there. I try to anyway. And hi, OG Lightworker, how you doing, sweetie? One of the things that I have, that's why I'm not on camera today because I look like hell. Getting very little sleep and helping with my daughter and stuff. I'm pretty tired. And I'm gonna let you guys all know something. Yes, okay. And I figured some of it because she's an Aquarius, just like yourself. She's an Aquarius with double Gemini, and the nodes just shifted in Gemini. We already had our nodal shift, which is crazy because that's probably one of the things. That's when all this stuff kind of triggered for her on the 5th. Very bizarre. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I look like hell, so maybe I'll come on later and do something else. But with her upper GI and stuff, like she had to go get fluids at the hospital because she couldn't keep nothing down. And so I had to go and see everything that's going on at the it's like, why do you put me in these situations, spirit, that I have to go and look and watch all this stuff? Well, you guys must have summoned me. Welcome aboard. Like, thanks for coming on. Um, and watching what's happening and seeing the changes, even like with the way people are being, it's been bizarre. The last 2 months with this COVID stuff, I think we could take this as a paradox too. Because I think they want us to be in a place of fear, but we can use that, the powers that be want us to be in a place of fear instead of a place of learning from this and a place of growing from this and evolving through this. And it's almost like a forced thing. You don't have a choice but to look in the mirror and be like, am I going to fear this? Or am I going to walk through this? The choice is up to you. You can stay in that old timeline or you can press forward. And that old timeline is riddled with fear. And especially fear in the unknown, like not knowing what's going to happen next. There's a lot of people right now throughout the world that are legit losing their shit. Yes. One of the things I noticed, even with the hospital staff, there are a bunch of people that are working in these hospitals that are freaking out. And I'm not that type to really be scared about any of this type of stuff. Because I've been the type of person that really does not give a rip. I've been social distancing myself because I've been going through this shadow work myself for the last 3 years. This isn't anything that's new for your girl here. What is new for your girl is actually Hi Yvonne, how you doing? Oh, by the way, Yvonne, thank you for sending me the vitamins and the box of stuff. I didn't get to get on and say thank you. But thank you. They did come. I appreciate it very, very much. Um, it's more or less going there. One of the things I can let you know about good old Pluto here is it's not used to having people summons it for benevolent purposes. Yes, I got it 2 days ago. Thank you. So when it was like, "Who are you?" and I said, "You know who I am." You know, Pluto definitely wanted you to make yourself known and your intentions. Not used to pure intentions coming near there. It's like this, it's kind of new for even working with that energy. And one of the things that I just wanted to put out, even with channeling that energy, is the duality of it, taking the light with the dark. And as you guys know, we're just starting this retrograde season. We're just starting this with a node shift yet on top of it. So we're going to be getting a clear understanding on how things work with the node shift into Gemini. Gemini is all about thoughts, perceptions, and how things work, and almost being curiosity. So we have to also remember curiosity, they say, killed the cat. So this is a little bit new for your girl here. Yep, very true, OG Lightworker. Hi, Jess. How you doing, sweetheart? Oh, also, all my new Capricorn subscribers. I noticed that video actually, I have a video that actually took off for once. Jeez, it took forever. I know I'm not on camera today. Um, if you go back and watch, I kind of explain why I'm not on camera. I have it more, this is all about Pluto retrograde, looking in the mirror. Because there's a mirror image of, and I got this whole thing about inversion as well, which might sound weird, but our closest planet and our further, wow, I'm getting dizzy too when I even talk about this. Our closest planet and the planet furthest away are kind of inverted right now, almost like a mirror effect. I talked to someone last night and I'm like, would you believe like I don't even give a rip about, I'm like completely detached from any people from my past. I'm just detached. Now, the only people I, besides my YouTube, is my kids and my parents, like my sister, my immediate family. Those are the people I care about at this time. My immediate family. My parents, my sister, my nephews, my nieces, my kids. That's it. And of course, my YouTube family. I love you guys. And that actually um, is very Plutonian as well. It's your roots. It's the root chakra. It's Plutonian. Yeah. And I have Pluto and Libra. No, I that's me as well. I just don't care. I don't. It's not that I want any ill will or anything bad. I just don't care about the past. It's old news. And I even said on my Aries video for the monthly that if you're on my channel, but you're only here looking for love, I'm not I'm not the reader for you. I'm not. If you're here looking for someone to get their karma, which usually does happen, but if you're only here looking to see when someone's coming back, I'm not the reader for you. If you're here to grow, then I'm that person that you will want to get to know or get on my channel. Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. You put it very well. And that's where I'm at right now. And I feel a real sense of freedom. And one of the things that I noticed, yeah, there's been a heaviness, but yet it's still lifting. like the heaviness is, you could feel it all around you, but it's no longer in you. Does that make sense? Like you still feel the heaviness, but it's just not a heaviness that's laying on your being anymore. Okay. But like you sense the density still. And I really feel that that is Pluto coming through, making itself known to folks. One of the other things, that as I was even straightening up and cleaning up here in my living room a little bit, because I with Saturn being my moon sign, like I said, even Saturn is scary to work with. Saturn don't play with people. Not at all. Now Saturn can work hand in hand with Uranus because as Uranus is going through and ripping down structure, Saturn will come up behind it and clean up its mess and replace everything the way it needs to be coming up. And I think we're going to see that more. However, people want to resist change, and you can't do that at this point. Like, we get it so we want to put everything in a box. I'm guilty of this because I like to have things in order so I know what, not like my parameters. I like order. Law and order. Saturn. And Pluto is just utter destruction. It is. It's the destroyer planet. Like, it does not care. And one of the things last night as I was going there, and then I've been getting stuff from even in my dreams. Pluto's been working with me the whole time. It kind of said that. Like, that's why I've been having horrible dreams. That's why I've been dealing with recurring cycles. Because I refuse to go there because of the fear of it being a malevolent planet. But if you have a benevolent soul and you've worked on yourself and you know who you are, then you're ready to upgrade. And you have to upgrade, you have to go there with Pluto. You don't have a choice. Or you're going to stay where you're at. That's probably part of the reason why I was so drawn to watch the movie back in October, Maleficent, which was the perfect description of the phoenix coming out from the ashes. That, yes, she was known as a very malefic figure. She had her good qualities too. She got a bad rap, put it that way. If you guys haven't seen Maleficent, please do. She got a bad rap. She got the short end of the stick. And Maleficent actually realized that there was more people, or should I say more creatures like herself, which made her feel more at home toward the end of the movie. But great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, feel free to seriously watch it. Well, one of the things I had said last night. And I'm really not going to get onto it on here because it's between me and Pluto. But looking at this COVID thing, yeah, I have Pluto, or I have Lilith and Pisces. So, well, you know that, Yvonne. I can go there. However, when I do go there and when I have gone there in the past, it never fared out very well for me. With tapping into Lilith and Pisces. I'm sure she comes out a lot when I get pissed. And I've only allowed Lilith and Pisces to really just go ham on somebody. And it wasn't a good thing, just put it that way. Yeah, it's very deep. However, it's the most powerful Lilith position to possess. It's the most powerful Lilith positions in all of them combined. So I have to be very careful not to allow her to go ham. That's for damn sure. Which is really why I was like, oh my gosh, like, I could really pull some bad karma on myself if I let her go ham. My daughter also has Lilith and Pisces. So she's an Aquarius with a double Gemini rising and moon, Mars in Aquarius, or Mars in Aries. I'm sorry, I'm the one with Mars in Aquarius. She's Mars in Aries, and then she has Lilith in Pisces. She's an extremely powerful young lady, and dark forces know that if they can't mess with me, they mess with my kids, and then I get that. That's a way to trigger my anger. Well, so that's the route they're going now. Try and mess with my kids. You don't want to do that. The last time I could say she really had a flare up like this was back in 2018 when she was going through another transitional time. It was in August of 2018. Virgo season, by the way. Well, I don't know about that. Um, Very well could be. But I'm not really going to get on to Lilith on here. Um, I don't want to summons her right now because I'm trying to stay on the light side of all of this. Yeah, let Pluto do its thing. Like I said, I told one person, look, planet's Pluto this time, and it was my intuition that actually go with Pluto. However, Pluto is very chaotic. Planet Pluto, you can't control that planet, so it's more or less releasing control as well. It's like, all right, Pluto, tapping into your benevolent side of this. You see what's going on, you know, and do your thing, Pluto, the planet of destroying. And knowing that we have Saturn going retrograde soon, not to mention we have Uranus right now going through Taurus. So those structures are coming down whether people like it or not. So you might as well jump on board and allow this energy to transform you. And it's transforming your thoughts about yourself, your surroundings, yourself and your surroundings, the people who you care about. Like, you can't confine Pluto or Plutonian energy. Don't even try. Don't try and wield it. You just have to allow it to work the rest of this out within you. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to try and do things and continue to walk in light and love all those crazy aspects of yourself. even if they're dark. Even if they're dark. You can really go ham in this energy, though. I can tell you that right now. And like I said, with this, I feel like Pluto is kind of like at this point inverted with Venus. And where I was going with that is relationships. I'm said about being detached, and I detached from all those past incidences, people, things, whatever. And now it's about the bigger, the big picture. I don't know if any of this made any sense at all. I hope that it does. Allowing that reflection in the mirror to not no longer scare you. I know that's one thing Scorpios really struggle with is they understand this energy obviously better than anybody does. Aries has a pretty good understanding too because we don't have a choice. We're directly connected to Scorpios because of Mars. We share that planet. So we have that direct connection. It's why a lot of Aries and Scorpios are divine, like divine masculine or divine feminine. It's why those two are magnetically drawn together, and there's an automatic attraction there between those two that sign. And this is a proven fact. It hasn't even just been me that have said this. A lot of other readers and astrologers would agree with me that if you're a divine feminine or you're a divine masculine, that's an Aries or a Scorpio, that's more than likely a divine connection. Due to the split of the Mars energy, and then, of course, you have the dark and the light. Well, obviously, Pluto is more of the darker side, which is the pure essence of a yin yang, the dark and the light. Mars is more or less a kind of, because Mars is a ruler of Aries, and Aries is the spark of fire, spark of light. To start this whole damn thing off is spirit. Aries is rebirth and regeneration and renewal, or Pluto's death and destruction. Scorpio, transformation. And right after Scorpio is what? Sagittarius, which is the south node right now. So it's very interesting, which is also a fire sign, which is also spirit. So after the transformation, you get that huge jump of spiritual enlightenment with Sag coming, following right up through. So I'll be grateful because Venus in Gemini retrograde. Yeah, I'm kind of happy I'm single. I prefer it. No fighting with people, no drama, no baby mama drama. Not that I really ever had that um, with any of my exes. There was one that could have went there, but Saturn was like, slap that shit down real quick. Oh, she light worker. Well, most people on here do have a significant other. A lot of my main subs. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not worried about it. I've even had, dude, I'm telling y'all what. I've been, I've had people try and talk to me over the last few weeks or whatever, but I even detect any kind of, I even detect any kind of usury, put it that way. I even detect that. I completely pull back and shut down. And then I'll see if the person will still persist. And if they don't, I knew that they were trying to use me and it wasn't happening. And they knew that they couldn't do it. So, I don't care. Not invested, and I refuse to invest myself in anybody who's going to try to use me for anything. No, 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 no. Nope. It ain't gonna work that way. That would be the last thing they want to do with me right now. All you guys know me very, very, very well. So now, um, one of the things I did get, and I've gotten a lot of stuff with these movies, was kind of talk about Maleficent, but I'm going to go on a lighter side of this. The Lord of the Ring, the Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf comes back and he becomes Gandalf the White instead of Gandalf the Gray. I've already discussed this. We're at that defining moment right now where it's face your shadow, head on. Look in the mirror, face the shadow. Many of you have already been purging. Many of you have been purging, same as myself. We've been going through this stuff. So it's time to face all those negative things that you've been trying to suppress and let them come up and deal with. I'm not saying go ham, but accept them for what they are. And with that, you can forgive yourself, which is the hardest thing for humans to do. And it's why they hold on to so much shit because they can't forgive themselves. Y'all know I'm right. Fairness has been ripping up everything and making everything. It's like the plowman preparing for crops. Well, many of us are past that. Like we've kind of been used to this with our with the Uranus transit through Aries. And not just me being an Aries sun, I kind of have a real good understanding of this energy with Uranus now. and it wasn't an easy transit. And now that it's in Taurus, first it was ripping up your identity, now it's ripping up structure and what everybody held dear and near. Some of the things that I even see going on in the US, it's bizarre. Like, who would ever guess that somebody would get a $5,000 fine for having a garden? That doesn't happen. So, yeah, I released Pluto in a benevolent way. And I'm like, if you got to get malevolent, hi, you dog, how you doing, bud? If you got to get malevolent or allow that to happen, the benevolent side will come in, the duality will come in, and it'll balance everything out. Either way, I think that's pretty much what I have to say about this. Sorry, dog, like you're just now coming in. But I don't want to make this video much longer than what it has to be. Thanks everybody for coming on today and chit-chatting with me. Yeah, like I said, I've been kind of cleaning up and getting my house kind of clean because of my daughter not feeling the greatest. So, and she's here. Well, you can go back and watch it. Um, I was just talking about Pluto and the aspects of working with that planet because I usually try and stay away from that planet. And it's more or less because I understand karma so well. And it's known as a very benevolent or a very malevolent planet. Well, she's home, so she's been keeping stuff down. That has been our biggest thing is her not being able to keep anything down. And she goes through these spurts where she just vomits and it does not stop. Yeah. How about you? Queen Darity, yeah. Um, I have Uranus opposite, um, I have Uranus at 1 degree in Scorpio. And it's opposite Juno and Venus in Taurus for me. So I don't even care about relationships at this point. I don't give her a rip. I care about my YouTube. Well, she was drinking. She's 18, so she's been drinking Gatorade and kind of like mixed with water. I do have popsicles, but it doesn't matter when she has that gag reflex. Me and my it's weird because me and my daughter are very similar. Where I could be doing a spiritual purging, it'll actually reflect in my outer world, and she ends up getting sick. It's really weird. So it's like almost real time what I'm seeing. Spirit shows me this stuff real time of what's happening in the spirit realm with a lot of people in the collective, and it manifests in really weird ways. That is just all right. This is a sign. She has not threw up since yesterday. Well, late last evening. So she's doing better. We are. I have Mars in Aquarius. She has Mars in Aries. She's an Aquarius. I'm an Aries sun. She's an Aquarius sun. So we're very connected. Actually, I knew the moment I conceived her. It was weird. I knew exactly the moment I conceived my daughter, and it was weird because it was on me and my ex-husband's anniversary, and he didn't want any more kids, but it was like I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm. Then I kind of just let it go, and I didn't. Think about it. She is a star child. And then she has double Gemini, rising and moon. She's all air, and then she has all her planets mostly in. She has like 9 different air placements. She has 2 water placements and 1 fire placement. And she has her Mars in Aries, and when she gets pissed, like yesterday, she flipped the doctor off. I'm like, oh my god, that's so Mars and Aries. Yeah, she is. She is. Yeah, she does not give a shit. She does not care. She also has, I'm pretty sure she has Uranus in Aquarius as well. And her Lilith is in Pisces as well. Yep. Well, I didn't feel so. And I can usually tell she was just mad. She didn't like, I don't know if there was something about the doctor she didn't like. And I'm a Mars in Aquarius, so like my stuff is I hate to say it this way, but I will. Um, Raw, genuine, and intellectual. My South Node's in Gemini. I've already conquered that. I've conquered that. Now it's moving toward my North Node. Yep, she's 18. She's been very patient. I'll give her that. She has been very patient with not feeling good, and nobody likes to throw up. Yeah, my North Node is in Sagittarius. South Node. So I'm kind of wondering how that pole shift is going to be for me with the North Node moving into Gemini and the South Node moving into Sag. It's actually shifted opposite for me, where my North Node is in Sag and my South Node's in Gemini. So I don't know how this is all going to play out for your girl. I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it's a 2 year transit shift. Um, So in like 4 or 5 years, when the North Node goes in Aries, and it connects up with my stellium in Aries in my natal chart, and like I said, I'm a rising sign in Libra. Yeah, well, we're gonna see how it's gonna go for the next 2 years for your girl. Um, I know one thing: it's been a rough go, very rough go. Most people who've been on here for any length of time that's been on my channel knows I ain't perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I want to do better, but I'm not perfect. We just have to want to be better than what we were the day before. And if we can do that, we'll be fine. Like I said, I've never wanted to even mess or even go there with Pluto because I like to stay on the light side of everything. And I know how karma works. I understand it very, very well. Yeah. And that's one of the things that Pluto has told me because actually Pluto at first was like, "Who goes there? Who do you think you are?" And I'm like, "You know who I am. Don't even go there, Pluto. You know who I am." But Pluto's not. I'm going to let you know. Pluto is not used to benevolent beings wanting to actually tap into Pluto energy. Um, Having integrity and passing through that Saturnian energy and making sure that you have integrity when you go there, you'll be okay. But if you are going there, you're going to create some really bad karma for yourself. If you're going there with malevolent purposes. I mean, Pluto will be more than happy to assist in the malevolence if you want to go there. But if you're going there with good intentions and benevolent purpose, Pluto's extremely suspicious. Pluto's extremely powerful, and it already knows. But it will ask you to see if you know yourself. Yep. Well, I have Pluto in Libra, so my he can put me on the scale all he wants. I have my Pluto, natal Pluto, on my rising sign. That's why I said, you know who I am. You know I've already weighed this out before I even came into asking you for your assistance. Uh-huh. Yep. Pluto and Libra generation right here. 1975 I was born. And it's on my rising sign. So when I talk to people, because I'm having that Aries stellium opposite Pluto, I'm going to attract hatred and haters. Hi, shamanic healer. I'm going to attract haters, and that's okay. I have a lot of protection. And making Pluto my friend, instead of being fearful of that energy, is really bad for all those people. I know. So, like I said, making Pluto my friend is instead of being frightful, even though like it was kind of already my friend doing all this ripping up and destruction of my ID, ego, Aries, Uranus transit, 7 years of that, opposite Pluto. uh, yeah, it was rough. I realized that in 2008 when everything started to go to shit, just put it that way, we had a Pluto shift into Capricorn. That's when Pluto shifted into Capricorn, was in 2008. Well, I think it's When it comes to malevolence or benevolence, Georgia, I wouldn't worry about what society says. However, what your oversoul is telling you, just remember that the karma that comes from that, you might not see in this life, but you will come back and you'll see it in the next, or the next, or the next, up to seven, possibly seven generations. You could really create a bad curse, and it won't just affect you, it'll affect your offspring. So being that's pretty much the only thing I can say about that. You have to be who you are though, and we cannot judge. People have to be who they are. Hi Jess, how are you? So I guess that's probably the best way that I could put it is it all depends on what karma you want and what you're willing to sacrifice um, when it comes to your offspring. And I've been clearing up this stuff, and it's not easy. I had some pretty shitty ancestors who did some pretty shitty things that I had to clear. And it hasn't been easy. But embracing your shadow during this time and allowing your shadow to not dictate or rule, but help transform is going to, I think, change the world for the better. We're the leaders of this stuff. We're the leaders of this stuff. Look in the mirror. What do you want to create? I don't really want to create chaos. But if chaos has to come for correct order to be of the universe to for new foundations to be laid, we have to allow it. A lot of people were seeing the backlash where we felt like we've gotten really bad karma. I've had some people who don't understand this concept, come on, because I'll do general readings. I was able to kind of tone it down a little and jump back into the signs. And there's still some people who don't understand the concept of what you put out. We're finishing up a 35-year transit here. And what they've put out over the last 30 some years, they're going to get back, whether if you were shit on your whole life, sort of like a lot of us have been, then the next 35 years should be good depending on how you handled being shit on. And that all comes with choices as well. I didn't make all the best choices. Yes. We didn't always make the best choices, but did we learn from them? Did we learn the lessons that we needed to learn to propel you way forward? Yeah, I understand that, Georgina. Um, in this generation, my ancestors also were Puritan, um, but they did do harm unknowingly, but they still did harm. They took on a poverty mentality um, and alcoholism. Not that alcohol is bad if you can control it, like that you're not going ham on substances, but substance abuse is one of those things that runs in my family, and I had to break that. Not that I have an issue. If you if you don't have to smoke weed every day, I suggest that you don't. Yeah, escapism is huge. Um, I don't drink alcohol at all. I didn't even drink for my birthday this year. I wanted to go get wine and I couldn't. If I drink anything, it's wine because I've been going through a purification process, and now it's like one of those things. I knew I was in this crossroads of choosing to resist or push through. Like, allow whatever you resist, they say persist. So, are we gonna finally surrender? Because Pluto is basically surrendering, and I'll just not fighting anymore. And my free will as an Aries, I want to fight. I will fight no matter what. Well, and that has been a huge thing. Infidelity as well, narcissism. So, understanding that whole 3D in itself is a full time job learning about that. Well, that was my grandfather. He didn't have a bunch of kids with anybody else, but he was an alcoholic. He was in the war. I loved him greatly. Um, but I was told he was quite the ladies' man. Not really 100% sure on how that, but um, my grandma didn't talk about that a whole lot. And he passed away at a very young age. He was a Pisces. So back to Georgina with her question as far as like society shaming malevolent or breaking those societal norms, I guess. It's what are you, I guess it's kind of one of those things, what are you willing to sacrifice for your future generations? Hmm. You guys all heard that. That was the big 10-4 right there. This is about future generations. This is no longer about us. They're going to be talking, these future generations are going to be talking about us for a very long time. You know, one of the things, I'm going to get into this because it's kind of important. Dolores Cannon, many of you probably know who she is. If you don't, some of her teachings are bizarre. She was also an Aries. She passed away in 2015. And she was talking about Atlantis, and she was talking about, yes, we are. Yes, we are. They're going to be talking about us for a long time. But they're going to be talking about, just like they talked about the Revolutionary War, we're going through a whole different paradigm shift, but it's planet wise. It's not even, it's not just one nation fighting against no. This is a world global. Within you. We can create our own reality. It's within you. That's the well you can draw from. The whole universe is within you. Like I said, there was always a very certain certain planets I didn't want to piss with, and Pluto was a big one of them. Pluto with the karma, and I didn't want to piss with that planet because I know. Well, we're setting the foundation for that, Georgina. That's what this is. This is a fundamental time. Well, Uranus is a lot. Um, it's very dangerous to go there, but considering it is an air sign ruler, it always has a benevolent outcome. It might look malevolent and destructive, but it always has. It's always for the better. So this is a foundation that we're laying, but we had to allow those old structures to completely, even old labels. Oh, well, I really haven't done a whole lot of studying. I just channel this stuff. It's the stuff that I feel that I'm getting from my own life and what I've learned. And yeah, they do. And that's what I feel as well. Anything past Jupiter or the asteroid belt is crazy. Jupiter with the expansion, like that's the other stellium that I have. I have the Sun, Jupiter, and Chiron all in Aries, opposite Pluto on my rising in Libra. Then I have Saturn in Cancer, opposite my moon in Capricorn. It's like this spirit really big old joke. Uranus opposite Venus and Juno. Yeah, big old joke. And big old Grand Cardinal Cross. So it's like square, trigger, square. Well, I tell you what, I've gone through a lot of shit. I saw a lot of corruption in a lot of different sectors, whether it be religion. I worked in local government, saw it there. I saw it in the in healthcare. I saw it all over the place. It's like, why are you showing me all this stuff? Because every time I even bother to move into an area, no, they didn't. They didn't believe me at all. And then, like I said, I got Uranus in Scorpio at 1 degree, opposite, opposite Venus and um, Juno. So it's all opposites. And 45 years old, I'm like, all right, I feel like I got nothing accomplished in my life. Even though I got a lot accomplished, it really means nothing at this point. I'm mean and jaded. Well, some might say that. I was told I was mean. Yeah, jaded too. But honestly, I'm really not. I might have been for a little bit, but I had to work on that. Yes, I am. It's a constant renewal. I can't deal with bullshit. I can't. I can't deal with bullshit at all. And the thing is I had bosses who were like Leos that couldn't handle the truth. No offense to any Leos out there who can handle the truth, but I've had bosses who were complete control freaks that couldn't handle the truth. So the bitch had me fired, and then let me just put it out there for no reason. I had people calling in that office asking to be put on my caseload because they knew I cared, and it really pissed her off. I have a cat moon opposite Saturn in Cancer, so ain't nobody that was able to get shit by me. And then, like I said, my I have Mercury. Get this, Mercury in Pisces. I didn't even talk about Mercury yet, but I have Mercury in Pisces right along with Lilith. So I see into the dark and the deep and the depths and the bullshit and behind the facade. I feel I am too, but it's still very uncertain because of how much I've been gaslit in my life. And it's not that I'm a victim. It was to make me better and to help anybody else who's uncertain about who they are. Well, unfortunately, she became a boss there, and I'm sure that she did to me, or she's doing to others what she did to me. Oh hell no, I'm an overcomer of all of that. I realized that $15 an hour job, pff, it was one of those things where it was just like I felt bad for, of course, that feeling of failure that that was projected on me my whole damn life, um, and that feeling of guilt and shame, which we all had to kind of go through. Oh well, here's another failure. Someone got fired from my job. Well, that karma is on her. I'm not worried about it. Not at all. I know. And I'm pretty sure that yeah, she and I don't want to talk about myself like I'm better than, but I'm better than that. I'd never do that to somebody, no matter how threatened I felt. I'd want to make that person my ally. I wouldn't want to make them an enemy. I'd be like, this person got some good ideas, and this person actually, you know, maybe I can learn something. Nope, not her. She knew it all. And I'm not saying that she wasn't very organized and very structured. She had some very good qualities about her. I know. Dude, she's already had a lot of health issues that I knew of. Even before I. Do you want to know what happened? Let me tell you how screwed this is. I got my job in December. I lost it in May. It was almost six. It was 5 months to the day. Oh yeah. 5 months to the day of my hire date. Saturn put me there. It was a. It was a during the Saturn retrograde. It's right when Saturn went retrograde in 2018. I lost my job. I shit you not. I'm like, well, Saturn put me here, um, so that I could see the corruption, and we'll see what comes out of it after that. So I just, it is what it is. I have to allow the universe to dish out whatever. It's not, I don't even care if I never see it. That's the best part about all this. I released it all. And I was still pretty bitter about this a few weeks ago, but I'm not bitter no more. Mm-mm. I realize I've got something better and way bigger on my plate. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine the stress because if you, I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it right now. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. She might. Um, she was the one who got me fired, so everybody knows it. Everybody knows what she did. Everybody saw it. Everybody in there was a. It was ran by a bunch of narcissists. I kid you not, and I don't use that term flippantly. Those people in that office thought that they were better than the clients they were helping, which most of them were indigos. So they weren't even close to being any better. Most people that are in mental health, whether they're autistic or ADD or any of that, they're indigos. Yeah, that's you're exactly right. Well, and honestly, I think God puts me in places also to exact judgment. And it's not like just the karma from messing with my soul because of who I am, and I know who I am now, and how loved I am. There's absolutely nothing wrong with indigos. They're extremely powerful, and the thing is they want to suppress with medication and drugs, and making people feel like they're not important. I know. And that was one of the things I did not do with my people. That's why I was having people call in there because I understood abuse and I understood childhood trauma. And they knew this about me. I could see right into the depths of a person and be like, all right, this person has the capability of getting better. This person was severely wounded in childhood. Why aren't we taking these people to trauma therapy instead of just throwing them on medication and making them go and see a psychiatrist? Why aren't we doing something more with them, like being an advocate for trauma therapy? Hello. They didn't want to hear that in that office. They just wanted to keep people on medication and keep them going around the cyclical cycle of abuse. So not only were they abused by family members, most indigos, and I'm actually channeling this right now because speaking from experience, but I'm probably speaking from a collective standpoint as well. Not only were they abused in childhood, um, in very various ways, sexual. Many of us have had predators. Many of us have been attacked spiritually, psychologically, physically abused, verbally abused to suppress them. And it still happens. Now the government's abusing them as well. It's not okay. And I pretty much made I verbalized that. And they didn't like hearing that in that office. So they pretty much started a smear campaign and got rid of me. So no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with indigos. Indigos are a direct threat to structure because they're the creative ones in society. They're the psychic ones in society. So there's absolutely nothing wrong. There's everything that's right. It's just I saw the suppression. And the fact that our government's doing that, our local governments, yep. And it's backed up. I saw, like, I got some freaking stories I could tell you all, but um, there's that's why I want to embrace this malevolent energy. And that's pretty much what I have been hearing, um, more or less embracing with Pluto is allowing Pluto to do what Pluto does the best, egg on face. Tell Pluto you have to be direct and let Pluto know, like, look, this is what I want, and you know how to do it best. The destroyer planet. So break it down, man. Here you go, and release it right to Pluto. And you have to do nothing. Just sit back with your popcorn and watch what Pluto does. If your intentions are good, that malevolent planet will work on your behalf in a very good way. It's like I said, when I got it, even in the presence of Pluto, it was like, who goes there and how dare you? Like, I do dare you. You know who I am. You know me very well, Pluto. I've had, I was in 3 car accidents from the time I was 17 till I was 21. So I've had some, one, I ripped the friggin' whole roof off my, oh yeah, I probably should have been dead in a car accident. However, I feel like my granddaddy had saved me um, from the one. Yeah, well, she loves us humans though. She's, she, she wanted to trigger this awakening. So she aided, this was like a five-fold thing with Earth. She wanted air quality better. She wanted ground quality better. She wanted, how can I put this? Air, earth, fire, and water. Spirit. I didn't get that fivefold for nothing. Obviously, there we go. All 4 elements and spirit. Yep, has been a tough love. But those of us who have been anchoring in light as well, she absolutely thanks us for it. We're not going to be the one to get the wrath from Mother Earth. That's for damn sure. These people have been, can't even really blame it on the unawakened people. Like, Spirit awakens certain people at a certain time to lead the charge in this stuff. So, who are we to, and that's pretty much where I got a lot of clarity as far as being grateful and thankful for who I am. Because I didn't understand through all the pain that I went through that it was actually going to turn out um, for a greater purpose, for the greater good of not only myself, but everybody. No. Um, you have to realize, though, I'm going to kind of throw this out there. Um, if you understand anything about the spheres of influence, there are 7 major spheres of influence, which religion is one of them. Government's one of them. Entertainment's one of them. Creativity is one of them. What has been pushed out in society for so doggone long? Home and family is one of those as well. What has been pushed out? It's been really negative and dark stuff. So this is something to trigger people to be like, all right, well, why did this have to happen this way? Um, so we wake the hell up to what we're doing to our kids and what we're doing to future generations. If we keep going down the same path. So yes, like I said, all right, guys. I hope that I explained this good enough, or even just using some of my um, own things have. Yeah, well, I'd say we're woke, but we're not. This is just the beginning. I think the layers of this is going to even get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So, well, thank you. Like I said, I hope I'm right with this. I'm telling you what my truth is. This is my truth. You could take what resonates with this and um, take it to spirit. Don't ever just take anything that I say um, that it's concrete. Please, which I don't believe many of you would take your stuff to spirit. So, um, this is just my truth on what I'm sensing and feeling. And I felt like I needed to get it out to you guys because if you're feeling similar, um, it's a message for you as well. I love you guys. I hope this helped. And like I said, this is the first time me actually even digging into Pluto. It's a little bit weird. And it's one of those planets that it's kind of like, stay away. I stayed away from that planet because of how dark it can get and how much down the rabbit hole you can go. You get sucked into that rabbit hole, Pluto. You might. Some people don't come back from that shit. Ask my ex Scorpio. It can take you down into a really dark place where you just get gripped by the darkness instead of being able to navigate through it. So, all right. I hope this all made sense. Oh yeah, I do too. I know God's watching. He's always watching. And it's kind of crazy to think that God even gave us these planets that we could tap into for more understanding of ourselves and understanding how astrology works within you. No. Yep. Absolutely, Dara D. Not everything from society is bad. We need the dark to. If we didn't have dark, we wouldn't have light. It's. Yep. We got Big Brother God watching. Oh, I'm being facetious. Sorry, God. I don't mean it like that. We don't have oppressive. Yeah, we're coming out of the oppressive control. We are coming out of that oppressive control. We're getting to the point where we're gonna be able to create our own reality, and in a very benevolent way. However, we need the duality of malevolence to get things done. Yep. and let Pluto do its thing. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell y'all what I couldn't believe it. It was like either Pluto or Uranus, and I was like, what? I prefer to work with Jupiter. Let me work with old Jupiter. I don't want to be Jupe. Let's work with and Spirit's like, no, 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 nope. There, D, get out of my thoughts. That's hilarious. I can't even explain. You already probably know. Oh, one of the other things that I did get last night is about this being able to control time. Being able, it's okay, Dara. Being able to control time and spiraling backward and being able to go back and redo something. And like, this is something that I really feel that it's a superpower that we're going to be able to actually tap into. And I've not really heard of, it's something that just came out on my, last night. And I was like, really? It's like a time traveling. Yeah, no, that's what I heard last night. That's crazy because I didn't know anything. I knew that there was something as far as being able to make time stand still, but I really feel like there's something about as far as going back and redoing something. However, being very careful with that because of the butterfly effect of all of that. Um, and if you look, even watching the movies from which we should have been a good indicator. Back to the Future. Well, I actually took a picture of my paper before I burned it last night to release. So if you think about Back to the Future, we have to be very careful how we revise things. But I feel like there's going to be an opportunity as far as for that, whether it's just in your meditation state or in real life. I think it can happen. Like you have to half wonder how Michael J. Fox did that. Whether that was just like a dream the kid had, or it didn't look like didn't they didn't make it out to look like it was a dream, but it kind of, you know. Okay. See, and here's the interesting thing. I don't do any studying on this stuff. I don't. Like I know some of Einstein's theories, um, but I really didn't study the guy's life. I really didn't, and I really didn't study a whole lot of Egyptian culture. This is all just stuff that I'm assuming has been in my lineage. Um, Gigawatts. 1.21 gigawatts. Oh, yeah. Follow at NASA on IG. Oh, it's all good. I don't need to. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, and then if it's obviously it's for you guys as a confirmation. Not that I wouldn't want to, or if you guys see something, just email an article if you think that it goes along with something. I'll read it, but I'm not actively going out and looking. I want my shit to be authentic, if that makes any sense. Like I that way you guys also know that it's channeled, and it's something that is for you guys as a synchronicity, I guess. There's a lot of Aquarius and Pisces on my channel as well. There's some Aries on here, which I'm like, people got Aries so twisted. They really do. They don't realize that Aries aren't as naive as what, just because we're the first zodiac sign, we're the closest to the 12th house besides Aquarius. We're right next to Pisces. So we can go backward and glean off of everything in past lives very easily. I just think that some people are just, they don't want to admit it. They just don't like Aries. They think we're naive. We're not naive. We're not naive at all. I'll give it to you. If they're unawakened, oh yeah, Aries do their own thing. They're an unawakened Aries. They're a little bit challenging because you got to get past that big fat ego first. And if you can trigger their awakening, because they are very, they're probably one of the easiest signs. If you can get past the big fat ego, once they awaken, there is no going back. They'll go in full force, all guns ablazing. They don't care. Like if they know that they're doing something, that's going to look. See, our magic knows. It's getting past that big old ego. And I'm an Aries. I can say this. I got a stellium in Aries. Doggone it. Yep, it is. I got a big old stellium in Aries. But that, I'm telling you, that big old stellium in Aries, it really needed, I really needed a lot of, like I said, the having a Libra rising with Pluto there, yeah, I had no choice but to allow Pluto to destroy that big old fat ego I had. I need a PR agent. I do. I had no choice but to allow Pluto to, yeah, kaboom that shit. Right in my ego. Boom. So it's one of those things, even like with the loss of the job, even though I felt like I was doing the right thing by my people, it still was a hit to my, it was another hit to my ego. Why did I do this? What? Victim mentality. I needed to stop that. And once I get on the right mind frame that I'm done with these frickin' cycles. We ain't going around the mountain again. It's not going to happen. Getting on the right mind frame of moving forward and not staying stuck in a victim mentality anymore. Breaking free. There's a song that I listen to a lot. It's called Escape. We're breaking out tonight, yeah. And for me, with the way my chart's set up, it's like, you know, I only have, it's either die in this shit or transcend this damn chart. What are you going to do, Frank? What are you going to do? Yeah, my married last name is Sprankle, so what are you going to do? Are you gonna feel so bad and continue just to go around the mountain and be a victim and blame shift and, well, you know, yeah, the shit, we allowed the shit to happen so you grow and not stay stuck? What are you gonna do, Sprinkle? Huh? I guess I have no friggin' choice. Okay, yeah. I actually did a reading, I kid you not, Queen Darity, for Gemini. Um, this is in Cancer season. And it was back in 2018. And it was during the eclipse part. It was right in the middle of those eclipses. And it had to do, the underlying theme for Gemini was the Wizard of Oz. And it was a reading that I did over, it was like almost 2 years ago now that I did for them. And then I got one for Pisces. It's probably one of my favorite readings I ever did, and it had to do with the Chronicles of Narnia. So I was really in that Neptunian energy, which I love Neptunian energy. I love just escaping and going down the Neptunian rabbit hole. It's a lot of fun as an Aries to just go back and just escape into that. It sounds bizarre, but I do. I love Neptunian energy. It's one of my favorites. I probably like Neptunian energy better than any other energy to go into for myself. However, the only part I gotta say about the bad side of this, I don't get a whole lot of shit done when I'm in that Neptunian energy. I get a lot of downloads in that Neptunian energy. And Mars, I think, is soon going to be hitting Neptune. Pretty sure. Mars goes into Neptune, or Mars goes into Pisces soon. Um, However, there is no retrograde in through the Pisces this time, where there was at one point. I think it went retrograde in Pisces. That was the last time it was retrograde. I'm pretty sure was back in at the end of 2018, going into 2019, and then on New Year's Eve, actually going into New Year's Day, it went into Aries, and like I legit felt that when it hit the precipice of um, 0 degree Aries. I was like, I legit got a vision of, it was almost like the warrior on a white horse, bucking up and heading out of that disillusionment into the red planet. Like it was so happy. Mars was so happy to get into Aries. Yes, I agree with that. As far as the beach, I think everybody, if you live near a beach, should get to the beach. Even though I know that they are having these beaches closed down, and it's so dumb because the sun and getting out into nature is essential right now. I know. We Aries do be like we told you so, which we like to say that a lot. hmm I'm all about like that. I want to get to the beach so doggone bad. Yeah, the weirder the better. They actually opened up some of our state parks, but we don't. I'm sure if Pennsylvania had a beach, we wouldn't be allowed to go to it. um, One of the things I saw on, it was weird. I saw a thing on Facebook, and it had to do with about trampling the American spirit, and people, with a cop that was on there was like, I don't think you want to wake up that sleeping giant, folks. You don't want to do it because once the American people were pushed so far, then they're rebels. So, like, most of us don't like to hurt anybody, but when our freedoms are possibly going to be destroyed, um, I can see a possible revolution happening. Um, because this constraint and stranglehold on people um, will not go over very well for a long period of time. We're already seeing people getting pissed. So, and I can tell y'all straight up from the gate for myself, I have not gotten a dime from the government at all during this shutdown. I didn't get no stimulus check. So it's like one of those things for me where the government fails. Let me count the ways. Yeah. Well, Pennsylvania's not really being dumb. It's our governor that sucks. So I don't like our governor. He's a dick. But it is what it is. Hopefully we will be smarter. I don't. I'm interested to see how Arizona is in a portal shift. Um, when I got that vision a year and a half ago, another year and a half ago, when I got that vision of the portal out in Arizona, yep, I saw a huge vortex, but it wasn't didn't make wasn't grounded yet, and then I saw it finally like penetrate the earth, and then we started. That's when we really started having a lot of not that we weren't having Schumann spikes the whole time, but now it's like when it really grounded in, and then I was getting more stuff about this portal that's out there in Arizona too. Well, be careful when you go there. Sedona is beautiful. It's extremely magical. um, but that's pretty much where that. I saw it in a desert. I didn't know exactly where it was. I didn't know if it was in. I felt like it was either in Southern California and or Arizona area. I just knew it was very desert where I saw it. It was weird. That's all I can say. And then I got more downloads about even about the portal and where you plug into and the dimensions, and it was weird. Like I said, that was during the time of Neptune as well. It's probably a Neptune moment I was having. But I actually did a video on that. Well, it was probably about a year and a half ago. Literally channel. Huh. Nice. Well, um, like I said, we look at ancestors from the life we're living now because, most of us, it's hard to recall. Oh, yeah. Um, it's hard to recall until you start awakening your past lives and stuff like that. And then you start getting just downloads of where in the heck is this coming from? And then you realize you've had so many past lives. And like I said in the one reading I did for the last reading I did for Lightworkers, most of us stem all the way back, um, even from the tree of life and the spirit part. We've been relying so much on logic because we forgot who we were. Mm-hmm. Well, my body, I have not gotten vaccinated for anything, obviously, in my adulthood. I don't give a rip. Ain't nobody putting no vaccine in me. Nope. And obviously, as a child, what are you going to do? Well, your parents going to get you vaccinated. I'm 45. Bill Gates is a dick, by the way. Let's just put it out there. I don't trust that man as far as I can throw him. All right, I'm going to get off of here, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. I've been on here for quite some time. I'm going to go up and check on my daughter. Thank you guys for all the likes. I appreciate it as well. And the 8 people who are on here, hang in there. I hope that this helped a little bit. I really got off subject. I'm sorry. I went down some rabbit holes there, but um, I like to sometimes just get on here and talk to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen and fellas. Well, there might be some fellas that come on here and watch this later. I'm telling you, I'm probably gonna have more dudes coming on here to watch this. That's probably why that came out like that. Yeah, she will. She hasn't threw up at all since last night, so that's a start. So she's going longer periods of not throwing up, and they did give her some medicine when she left the hospital. So if you guys can say a little prayer for my kid, I'd appreciate it. But we're all doing well here, and um, there were some frustrations that has happened, but I'm not even going to get into it because it's old news. Um, Nor do I ever want to give my power over to anybody ever again of my feelings, or you know what I mean? Like people who just try to push your buttons, they're just trying to take your power. Remember that. People come on, they try and trigger, they're just trying to take your power. Because if you react, they're taking your power. Remember I said that. And you guys can call me on it because I'll probably end up getting triggered now. So, not just feeders, bottom feeders. They're not even feeders, OG Lightworker. They're bottom feeders. So, yeah, I was going to come on and I'm like, nope, no satisfaction. I will help you dig the grave. We don't need to. That's past life shit. You know what? They dug their own grave. I don't have to dig nothing. Me giving everything over to Pluto, they've dug their own fucking grave. Put it that way. I know, but I just don't. Yeah, death card, homie. That actually came out in my past. In my Aries reading I did, because I actually, and then I was having problems with upgrade. There's a lot of shit, but the Aries reading I did for May, I had to do it in two parts, and the death card came out. And at the bottom of Capricorn's reading I did was the Tower. So there is Plutonian energy all over this. So don't be surprised when I do your guys' readings if the cards for Scorp don't come out. Giant turkey vulture. Oh boy. You don't have any dogs or cats outside, do you? Be careful with them. Yeah, definitely look up the meaning of that. Vultures usually, what do? They clear up dead carcasses. Turkey vultures will usually do that. Yeah. Um, there might be something that's already killed off and it's just coming to clean up the dead carcasses. They feed off of that. So that is an omen. Thank you, OG Lightworker, for sharing that. Oh, yeah. With it being a Scorpio full moon energy, yeah. Scavengers of death. Pretty much. All right, I'm seriously getting off here now, guys. So, if any of you guys want to chit chat on the down low, you can get a hold of me through Facebook Messenger. Um, if I feel like I have to come on and do another live stream at one point, I will. However, I'm going to try and get these other readings out as soon as my daughter starts feeling better. So give me a little bit of grace here. I know that I said I was going to do them, and then I kid you not, um, as soon as I do Capricorn's reading, she gets sick. You tell me that isn't dark forces trying to mess with me. They can't get to me. They know how to get to me through my kids. So I'm not off my path or my journey. It's just one of those things where it was like, all right, I got to take care of this. And yep, I do have Sagittarius's base laid out, so I'll be doing Saggy next. I have the base laid out. I'll clarify it all, and yeah. And then I'll probably do Aquarius after Sag. Find out what I like to do the upper echelon signs first. No offense to the lower ones, and I like to do Aries because it is my own sign. Um, Aries is already done, but I'm going to do Sag, and then I'll do Aries or Aquarius, and then I'll hit Pisces. Back it up to, well, I should do Scorpio too, honestly. So I have all the upper echelon signs, so I'm kind of, besides Capricorn, they're already done. I have all the upper echelon signs I got to do, and I enjoy them. I don't know why I enjoy them so much more than I enjoy doing like, I like doing for Gemini as well. I don't know why. Like, I do enjoy doing for Gemini. However, I don't have very many Gemini subs. Oh, you're welcome. You watched both parts? I pretty much came right out and said, look, if you're not willing to move on, and I'm not the reader for you. Pretty much, if you want to hear somebody's coming back and something that I'm not the reader for you. Now, if you want to learn and grow, then I'm the reader for you. But if you're all about this whole love thing and love struck and, stuck, I'm not the reader for you. If you don't want to hear that somebody's not coming back, then, yeah, I'm not the reader for you. All right, I'm getting off here. For real this time. You guys take care. I love you. I hear my daughter moving around. Uh-oh. So, we shall talk later. Okay? Have a wonderful full moon energy. And yeah, if you guys want to email me or chit chat, feel free to beautifulmind4275@gmail.com. Yes, be praying for my daughter, be praying for me. We really could use it, and just hang in there. We're pressing on here real well. So take care, and we shall chat another time soon. Bye, guys.